All right, buckle up. We've just gotten our hands on something pretty special, a newly declassified file. And trust me, this is way more than just some boring report. This is a window into a world that lives and breathes in the shadows, a place where justice isn't served, it's contracted. So let's get right into it. Yeah, that's a direct quote from the woman running this whole show, Claudia Reid. Her crew calls her Boss Lady. And you can see why, right? That quote it perfectly captures the insane high-stakes world we're about to jump into. So yeah, like she said, try to keep up. Okay, so here it is, case file number 2. The official title, Ladyboy and Oil. I know, it's a hell of a title, but it kind of tells you everything you need to know. This whole mission kicks off because of a nasty cocktail of murder, top-tier corruption, and, you guessed it, stolen land. So the initial intel looks like a total mess, just a bunch of random, horrible events. You've got 2 dead Thai ladyboys found in a Manhattan hotel. Then, in the same hotel, a U.S. senator turns up dead, and they ruled it an autoerotic misadventure. Right. And then, way over in South Dakota, an entire indigenous reservation gets wiped out in what they're calling an industrial accident. But here's the kicker. It's not random at all. The one thread connecting all of this chaos, a Qatari oil prince, Sheikh Ali al-Mansour. The theory is he's behind all these deaths to cover up a massive $250 million bribe. So you have to ask yourself, who on earth has the guts and the cash to hire a team to take on a prince and a U.S. senator? Well, the client is a Lakota grandmother. Her granddaughter was one of the people killed in that so-called industrial accident. And her mission is crystal clear. She wants justice. And she's putting up $10 million to make sure it happens. But you can tell this isn't about the money for her. This is payback, pure and simple. All right, so who takes a job like that? Well, every crew like this has a core, right? A central nervous system. And this one, it's built around 2 people. They call them the boss and the Marine. These 2 are the absolute pillars of the whole operation. Okay, let's break them down. First, you've got Claudia Reid, boss lady, 55 years old, an ex-CIA fixer who, get this, owns a crematory. You can imagine what that's for. She is the handler, 100% the brains of the operation. And then you've got her counterpart, Rex Callahan, the Marine, 45, ex-Force Recon, and just 260 pounds of bad decisions. He's the weapon, she points, he shoots. That dynamic between them, that's the engine that makes this whole thing go. And believe me, these 2 have history, a long, bloody one. It all started back in 2011 in Sangin, Afghanistan. Claudia, the CIA fixer, finds this disillusioned Marine sergeant, Rex, and recruits him. Their very first op together, Juarez, Mexico. They took down a cartel banker, lifted $28 million, and left the body under a factory floor. From there, it's just a blur. Between 2011 and now, they've run 114 operations in 38 countries. They've racked up a body count neither of them can even remember. Which brings us to today, sitting in a Cybertruck, eating cheesecake, and opening up this very case file. But here's the thing. Claudia and Rex don't work alone. No way. They're the head of the table, but they've built this family, a hand-picked crew of absolute specialists. Every single one of them is a master of their own very specific, very lethal craft. So, let's meet the family. First up, you need things to go boom, right? Meet Yish and Iris. They're the explosives experts. And they're also professional bodybuilders. Seriously, this husband and wife team went from lifting weights to rigging C4. They bring the muscle, obviously, but they're also the brains behind every single demolition. Then there's the guy who gets you inside, the safecracker, Knut Miller. They call him Cans. He's this huge dude, a gentle giant who can apparently talk a 2-ton vault into apologizing and opening itself up. The file says he never kills anyone and he cries at those ASPCA commercials. A real walking contradiction, but the best in the world at what he does. Of course, you need a getaway driver, and they've got the best, Bobby Shifty Shiftin. The guy is a legend. The file says he can parallel park a tractor-trailer and steal a nun's car while she's thanking him for helping her. If you need to get from point A to point B without getting caught, Shifty's your guy. Okay, now for the honey trap. This is Priyanka Shah, the pretty one. She is a master of infiltration. She has this way of talking, this silver tongue that can get anyone to tell her anything. Her job is to get close to the targets, earn their trust, and pull out their secrets. And on this mission, she has the most important job of all, get the confession on camera. And last but certainly not least, the cleaner. Chad the Six Killers. Yeah, with a name like that, he's the team's deadliest weapon. The file actually notes he's on paternity leave right now, but he's on call. When things need to get final, when a message has to be sent with zero ambiguity, he's the guy who shows up. And he always leaves his calling card, exactly 6 rounds in the target. So that's the team, a real happy family, right? Now let's look at what they're up against. This isn't some simple hit. They've been hired to take down a massive, tangled web of corruption that stretches across the entire globe. And at the heart of any web like this is the money. You just gotta follow the money. The file lays it all out for us. It starts in Bangkok with drug money. The Prime Minister of Thailand launders it. Then it gets moved to the US by a washed-up actress in LA. And where does it end up? Washington, D.C., in the pockets of US senators. And the guy pulling all the strings, the puppet master, the sheikh. So here's your target list, your rogues gallery. You've got Sheikh Ali Al Mansour, the mastermind. Prime Minister Mako Palasak is his personal ATM in Thailand. Senator P.D. Knox is the political cover in D.C. And Rachel Reacher, she's the money mule, the courier. And the key thing to understand here is that you can't just take out one of them. It's like a house of cards. You have to knock the whole thing down at once. Which brings us to the end game, the plan. How are they going to pull this off? Well, it's codenamed Operation Cheesecake, and it's their signature style of justice with, let's say, a lot more explosives. I love this quote. It's from Iris, one of the demo experts. That's not biblical. That's justice with better explosives. I mean, that says it all, doesn't it? This isn't about some higher power. This is about evening the score, their way. Okay, so here's the playbook for Operation Cheesecake step by step. 1. Priyanka gets in close, becomes the Sheikh's new girl. 2. She gets him and the senators on a 4-key video confessing to everything. 3. The team stages a fake terror attack at one of the Sheikh's parties to erase the entire guest list. 4. During the chaos, they snatch the Sheikh and ghost him out through a secret tunnel. 5. The Six gets the call. Chad comes off paternity leave to make the corrupt senators permanently disappear. Oh, and 6. The bonus round. They plan on lifting 30 tons of stolen gold from a church in Queens on their way out. But wait, how do you fake a terror attack that everyone, including the CIA and FBI, is going to believe? Easy. You blame it on the world's most feared ghost bomber, a guy named Quotataka Hindoyosa. And here is the genius part, the real masterstroke. He's not real. He doesn't exist. He's a complete myth that Claudia created years ago as the perfect fall guy, the perfect cover for her own operations. And that's where the file just ends. It leaves us with this one big, fascinating question. When justice isn't delivered by a court, but by a crew with a plate carrier and a fistful of C4, who gets to write the history books? It really makes you think about that blurry line between justice and revenge, and about all the stories that get written in the shadows by people we'll never even know existed.